0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. In a small apartment with peeling paint and second-hand furniture, a young man stared at a blank notebook. The world outside raced ahead, full of ideas, companies, and noise. But he wasn't interested in following the noise. He wanted to build something from nothing, to go from 0 to 1. He understood that most people repeated what worked. They copied, improved, and called it progress. But true creation, he realized, begins when you step where there are no footsteps. Innovation was not about doing more. It was about doing different. The difference between the ordinary and the legendary was not resources, but resolve. Every day he wrote down one new idea, raw, unfiltered, and often terrible. 99 of them led nowhere. But one sparked a question, and that question became a vision. While the world asked, "Who will allow you?" he asked, "Who will stop me?" He studied everything, business models, human psychology, technology. He didn't have capital, but he had curiosity, and that was enough to start. The beginning was brutal. Friends left, money vanished, sleep disappeared. But while others sought instant success, he built foundations. He learned that real value is not created by chasing trends, but by solving timeless problems. He understood that the first version of anything would be ugly, but if he waited for perfection, he'd never begin. So, he launched early, learned fast, and iterated relentlessly. He found that the world rewards clarity, not noise. Those who move with purpose outlast those who move with speed. And every time he failed, he didn't ask, "Why me?" He asked, "What next?" Slowly, the product began to work. Customers began to stay. Investors began to notice. The same people who once doubted him began to follow his blueprint. What changed? Not the world, but his perception of it. He realized that competition is for the average. The exceptional create their own category. Going from 0 to 1 meant inventing new value, not fighting for what already existed. It was not about building a better product, but a different future. One night, as he looked at his team, no longer just him in that small apartment, he smiled. The struggle had not vanished. It had evolved. He understood now that success is not an explosion, but a chain reaction of disciplined steps. Each decision, each sacrifice, each sleepless night was a brick in the structure of his vision. Years later, when he stood before thousands sharing his journey, he didn't speak about money, fame, or recognition. He spoke about the process, about the courage to begin when nothing made sense. Because every empire, every breakthrough, every innovation begins the same way. A single human deciding that impossible is just a word. Going from 0 to 1 was not about the company he built. It was about who he became. A creator, a thinker, a builder of worlds unseen. And in that transformation, he found the greatest truth of all, that the real startup is not the product. It is the human mind awakening to its own power to create.